Hello, I'm Paterno Esmaquel. Welcome to Rappler. We're now in Davao City, and with us today is Assistant Secretary Art Bongcato of the Department of Tourism. He's gonna talk to us about promoting Mindanao as a tourism destination. Good day, Assistant Secretary Bongcato.
Good morning.
Asik Bongcato, how is the tourism industry in Mindanao right now?
Well, Mindanao has always been a major player in the tourism industry in the Philippines. While Mindanao is really focused on bringing in more domestic travelers to begin with. You know, just in 2013, we had over 5 million visitors coming to all of the regions in Mindanao. And that is based on the data that we gathered from our hotels and resorts. And that's an encouraging increase from the previous year. Should be around a double-digit increase from the same period, no, in 2012. And this is primarily driven by the growth, of course, of the industry in the Philippines. Connectivity is really greater and better, and more airlines are connecting our destinations here in Mindanao to many parts of the Philippines. No? Not the traditional Manila and Cebu. Yeah.
So what's the general trend?
Well, the trend now, especially this year, it's everyone's a buzz. Even the autonomous region for Muslim Mindanao is experiencing that kind of interest and travel to the destinations in the region. So now we're talking about not only the regions 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, but we're also dealing with the ARMM as a potential and special destination for certain markets.
But of course, Asik Bongcato, we know that Mindanao is plagued by perceptions of poor security, terrorism. How do you respond to this?
Well, on the contrary, that is the image. But you've seen that Mindanao has been moving forward in terms of economy. And a lot of these investors coming to Mindanao are really not from Mindanao. And the catalyst always for growth in Mindanao is tourism. They first come to a destination, check it out. If they enjoy it and they like it, they come and invest. And we see growth all over Mindanao. That's an indication that everyone's confident about the destination.
But what's the biggest problem that you're facing right now?
Well, of course, we have to break that stigma and that widely perceived image of Mindanao as largely unsafe. Of course, we know about the security issues, and it is something that the national government, even the global community, is doing something about. And we're very confident in that aspect. Well, the Department of Tourism's mandate is really to continue sharing good things happening at our destinations. And the real fact of what's happening in Mindanao is that every region, every local government unit wants to take part in this great interest in tourism.
But you said a while ago that the economy of Mindanao is booming, but at the same time, the perception of terrorism persists. Why do you think is this so?
Well, this is largely what we see and hear, and it is something that we need to address, not in a way that we should stop sharing of information, but maybe giving extra effort in sharing the information that we know as a destination. That, you know, waterfalls in Surigao are now very accessible. There are new destinations and secret hideaways now slowly being revealed by people who travel on their own. That is the kind of effort that they want to do, even greater than how we have been doing the past few years in the Department of Tourism. So we would like to take advantage of every opportunity wherein we share this kind of information to our potential travelers, if not regular travelers to Mindanao.
Who's responsible for this bad perception?
Well, it's so difficult to trace that, but the whole it's all about, you know, living in a democracy, and this free flow of information that everyone would have a need of. And it is something that we also have to accept as part of what we are doing here in Mindanao. But all we need to do is really focus on sharing what is not often discussed and shared.
What about the media?
Well, the media is a major ally in achieving our objective of sharing things that are not often shared.
What are some things that come out in the media that you think are blown out of proportion?
Well, that is something that we cannot ascertain, because our basic belief is people working in the media are responsible. They're able to report things that they see on the ground as they see it, as journalists and as reporters, and that is being shared by too many. So we, in our aspect, or in the tourism aspect, we would want also to join that kind of openness in sharing, especially when it comes to tourism growth, tourism development.
So what strategies as Ekbongkato are you employing to improve tourism here in Mindanao?
We have to strengthen products. You know, of course, marketing and promotion is key, but what we sell to locals and to the international market is also very, very important. That's why in the National Tourism Development Plan, which is a medium-term blueprint for tourism development, we have focused on 3 strategic directions, and the first of which is really strengthening our sites and attractions and services in each region. Meaning, we have to take a look at a specific site. For example, if we discovered these beautiful waterfalls that is worthy of visit by many, but access is difficult, but accommodation is difficult, then we have to work with the local government units, the private sector, and even our partners in the national government to develop it. And one successful convergence would be the Tourism Road Infrastructure Program convergence with the DPWH. You know, for the past 2 years, we have already allocated more than 30 billion pesos of building roads leading to tourist destinations. This is apart from the regular budget of the DPWH, because the DPWH works on national roads. Now, this program allows us to spend a huge sum to develop barangay roads, provincial roads, and these roads are often leading to the beautiful sites. And what is happening now, people are more confident to enjoy a holiday, even if it's a short one, because they know access to these destinations are now possible. And this will continue on until 2016. Probably by 2016, we would have developed great majority of roads leading to great sites and attractions.
Sir, just to explore your background a bit, you have a good sales background. How does this help you?
Well, of course, in sales, you just have to, well, it starts with marketing, because you have to build a scenario wherein you can get the sales. So that is what we are both doing now, creating a scenario that people would take interest in. And when they find interest in, it's a responsibility to actually bring them here.
Scenario,
the environment, that, you know, when you come to Mindanao, it's going to be an extremely fun experience. So we're setting that. We're sharing to the rest of the world that these are the things happening in Mindanao. If they find interest, our job now is the more difficult thing, because you want them to go online, booked on a platform or on portal, buy their tickets, and for them to come.
So how do you set the scenario?
Well, key in the sales is really our tourism private sector. We have hotels and resorts and tour operators and travel agents. They are the key in really sealing the deal. They will have to work with us after the DOT is sharing about the great environment that we are in right now in Mindanao. They will have to go out and seek the markets that they want, to stay in their hotels, to stay in the resorts, to do their tours in many parts of Mindanao. So it's great collaboration with the private sector. And we always say in the DOT, the heart and soul of the tourism industry is the tourism private sector. Because without them, I don't think we'll be able to fly the guests here.
And then after setting the scenario, what's the next important thing to do?
Well, one is sustainability. It's good that we get their interest, but we need repeat guests. And repeat guests are of great value because they are able to influence their respective spheres, their families, their friends, their colleagues. And we do that, it's going to be, we will experience exponential growth in tourism.
From a sales perspective, how easy or how difficult is it to sell Mindanao?
Well, sales is never easy because sales is really anchored on your goals and your objectives and your targets. And it's normally, if you're a good salesperson or a sales team, you anchor it on the current state of whatever industry you're working in. And then you have to really push the envelope and try your best to bring as much. And then if you get really really successful, it's going to really change the environment. And that was what's what we are looking for in Mindanao right now, the tipping point, you know. We just want to have the critical mass and say everything that they hear about Mindanao in the future will not matter anymore, because most of them have been here, and a lot of visitors who come to Mindanao would really speak greatly about the destination, and they will continue to come. So we have to have the right connectivity, the right kind of promotion each time, and the right kind of targeting. What markets are we looking at? You know, we want the domestic market, certainly. Among the foreign markets in the Philippines, we want those who already are in the Philippines. The top markets in the Philippines would be the North Asian markets. If they go to Luzon or Visayas, we also want them to come to Mindanao. So that is the kind of sharing that we want to happen.
But when we talk about the tipping point, of course, it's not just the work of DOT, because if the perception is it's chaotic in Mindanao, you will need the help of other agencies as well, right?
Yeah, but we'll park the concept of chaotic because what we're focusing right now is to make sure that airlines fly to Mindanao, that our airports are ready, that our private sector and hotel rooms are ready. You know, if this charter flights would start coming to certain parts of Mindanao, if the destination would not have the rooms, it will never sell. So it's also
Kahit peaceful pa dito.
yeah, you know, it's a given. It's peaceful all over the Philippines, but if they decide to come and bring hundreds and thousands, and the destination is not ready, then we do not achieve. Mm-hmm. See, so it's also not only anchored on the responsibilities of others around us. Mm-hmm. It's also us as an industry.
So how ready are these facilities?
Well, product
Right
development does not really take overnight. That's why I emphasized that from the beginning of our conversation, that product development is key. We have to build and get the confidence of investors. You know, excite their imagination that if they invest their money that's kept in the bank or from whatever resources in a specific destination, it will grow according to how they project it. Yeah.
Are these facilities ready?
There are facilities growing up all over Mindanao, and you're in Davao City. In 2006, when we hosted the 25th ASEAN Tourism Forum with 3,000 foreign delegates, Davao City only had close to 3,000 rooms, and we had difficulty. We didn't have a convention center. We had to use the top floor of a mall, which was used for something else, cleared it out, and became our exhibition center. We used the old Central Bank Auditorium as a plenary, and everything was. But now we're hosting the 20th anniversary of the BIMP Iaga with over 500 delegates from outside. Now we're using world-class and state-of-the-art meeting facility that is also part of a greater complex. So that is the kind of growth the past 6-8 years as a result of the exposure of a destination.
Sir, what's the most rewarding part of selling Mindanao and the Philippines?
Well, of course, the most rewarding part is having you here physically in Mindanao and having partners like you talking about what we are doing in Mindanao. This is not really trumpeting, but it's really just sharing that tourism is more than pomp and pageantry. Tourism in the Philippines is all about giving every stakeholder the livelihood that they serve. This is all about improving the lives of Filipinos. That's why when we keep talking about those challenges around us, we remain focused that what we are doing is beyond saying we are safe, we are not safe. It's really ensuring that the communities in Mindanao and the rest of the Philippines would continue to earn something to put food on the table. So it's beyond what is generally perceived, because this is all about, as the president would put it, it's all about inclusive growth.
And what's the most disappointing part?
Well, when you are in sales and marketing, disappointing should not be a major term. Oh, yeah. That's why we have to really maintain. Well, disappointing is that when you project something and it does not come at a specific time.
Like for example,
we want new connections. We want connections from Korea, from China, and yet there are other factors beyond what we're doing that affect that kind of connectivity. So we have to go back to the drawing board and talk about new strategies to ensure that within a specific time frame that would happen. So it's all about day-to-day, like what we do in the hotel industry. There's a daily briefing that we do among executives. We talk about what's going to happen during the day, or what we expect to happen, and what really happened the previous day, and we map out the set of activities that we need to do.
And how can we help ordinary Filipinos, especially the ones who use social media?
Oh well, you already helped when the secretary launched the "It's More Fun in the Philippines" campaign. I think the DOT already just only created 6 memes, 6 or 7 memes.
Really?
But now it's close to 80,000 memes contributed by you, by people around the world who've experienced the Philippines.
6 lang pala yun?
This initial feed of the department, and then everyone contributed. So that is also, I think, the primary reason why the whole world is talking about Philippine tourism. That's why It's More Fun in the Philippines has become a buzzword among travelers around the world.
How successful is this campaign? Were you able to measure it?
It's successful because we've achieved unprecedented levels of arrivals. In fact, last year we had a total of close to 4.4 or 4.3 million foreign tourists, giving us a revenue of around $4.4 billion. This year, from January to August, there's a modest increase, around 2.4% increase, but the increase in expenditure is great. The average spend last year was around 3,800 per night. Now it has increased to 4,800. Not only are they spending more, they're staying longer. Last year, the average length of stay would be around 9.3 days. Now we're hitting 11 days. So beyond the actual physical numbers, we also have to look at the receipts, because this is what will really flow into the economy.
So it's been a successful campaign. Can we say that?
It has been a very successful campaign, and we want it to be more successful. And that is why there's a tactical, I would say tactical, because we're not changing the whole the campaign on It's More Fun in the Philippines. We're celebrating the Visit the Philippines year in 2015, and this will start when the Pope visits the Philippines in January, and that will continue on to the end of December, hopefully beyond 2015. So this is a year when we are going to bring in or invite travelers from all over the world to visit the Philippines, from Luzon, Visayas to Mindanao.
What do you mean? Will It's More Fun in the Philippines evolve into something else?
No. It's More Fun in the Philippines is still, but we will have a campaign that is called the Visit the Philippines Year 2015, and that this thrust would of course intends to bring those markets who have not decided yet to come to the Philippines, or bring back those who have been to the Philippines in 2015.
So why 2015?
Well, 2015 is a chosen year of the department. So it's just that we are ready to really push the Philippine tourism after the prep work that we've done since 2010, when we implemented the National Tourism Development Plan, and all the way to 2016.
So that's just prep work.
Of course, we are building the nation to be ready for tourism.
Oh, really?
So it's a continuous preparation. In fact, we continue to prepare for the succeeding growth, because the Philippines is still looking at 10 million foreign visitors in 2016. How do we do that? We have to really involve more and more of our local government units, more and more of our private sector, bring in more investors to ensure that when they come, there will be enough rooms, there'll be enough facilities to accommodate our guests.
My last question, why is it important for us to promote tourism?
Well, I mentioned it earlier. Tourism is beyond what we're doing about showing the beauty of the Philippines, but I think the underlying and the most important thing is giving an opportunity for every Filipino to have his livelihood and to have a sustainable livelihood. And this is not only giving money back to those who pour their money in tourism, but every stakeholder, every employee, every producer of food and service would take part of this growth of this livelihood. And we want to sustain that so that we have better lives in the Philippines.
Thank you very much, Asek Bongkato. We've been speaking to Assistant Secretary Art Bongkato of the Department of Tourism. Thank you for joining us.